Hello, everyone. It is wonderful to see you here. And I am grateful that you decided to take the time to be here. Let's see. I think I am a little bit upside down. Is it? Well, I don't know. Let's see. It's an adjustment for me. So, anyhow, this is all part of, right, improvising and being live. So, I am just excited to be here and I don't take it for granted because I am aware that it is a Sunday night and at least it is Eastern time, right? And whether you are a Self Worth Hub member, a subscriber, or just anyone curious to be in a space where you can compassionately hold yourself accountable, gain some insight, and just connect, right? Whether you identify as someone that grew up parentified or with dysfunctional family dynamics, then this space is for you. Now, I want to make it clear that we're not here to dwell on the past. We are here to move forward. That is why we call it compassionate accountability, right? If you do not know me, my name is Karina Aybar Jacobs, licensed therapist and coach. My mission is to help you achieve inner peace, set boundaries without guilt, and heal the impact of growing up with unmet emotional needs so that you can show up unapologetically as you are meant to be. All right? So thank you for being here. And unless, if you are not aware, right, we have a very special space that is called the Self-Worth Hub membership. And this space was reserved for the Self-Worth Hub members. And we collectively decided to open it up, right? Because it is important to build these spaces and to make it accessible. And we had these spaces, these live streams every Sunday, in addition to our biweekly group calls. So if you've ever struggled to stick to your goals, um, or felt overwhelmed by all the moving pieces of life, you're not alone. And that is why we have created these spaces. So today, we're diving into simplifying your journey, and I have a special gift for you towards the end. So please stick around. I also wanted to make these spaces, these compassionate accountability live streams, only 15 minutes or so. Okay, I cannot promise, right? I may go over sometimes, like last week, it was around the holidays, and I felt very vulnerable and started sharing a bit about my journey and what was going on. Um, a little bit about that in a few minutes, and I went a little bit over. However, I just wanted to share that this one in particular, I want to share the worksheet of our last group call, which was called Designing Your 12-Week Plan. Small steps, big impact. Because we often tend to catastrophize when things do not go as planned. We tend to suffer from paralysis by analysis and be perfectionists, right? Whether we are the personality, right? The personality A type, right? And or the ones who are debilitated by the fear of judgment. It doesn't matter. I want you to put that to the side because that's not what we are here for. We are here to hold ourselves compassionately accountable and to set one small goal each week to be compassionately held, right? So let's start with the fact that this idea came about inspired by the 12-week year book. If you haven't heard of this book, I would highly recommend it. It is by Brian Moran. I hope that I'm pronouncing his name the correct way. I was actually in a live Zoom call with him and his co-author. Please forgive me, co-author, because I'm blanking on his name. And I thought that that book was genius because instead of thinking of your year, your goals in 12 months, think of them on a quarterly basis. So you think of your weeks as months. So you establish goals that are actionable and you hold yourself accountable. And that is a concept that I introduced my members to, and I wanted to hold this space. And the reason why I call it compassionate accountability is because it is so important to not approach this from a punitive approach. Why? Because a lot of our members, a lot of my clients have a highly activated inner critic, right? No one is more harsh than themselves, okay? They can be so compassionate, myself included. As a recovering parentified daughter, I can be so compassionate. Someone else will make a mistake. I can be so understanding. But when I make it, oh boy. So comment I if you can relate. Comment I in the comments. So that is why I wanted to make it a point to call it a compassionate accountability meeting or live stream, right? So I wanted to share that with you because unless we show up and take small steps, we are not able to hold ourselves accountable. And we tend to think of goals as this big concept, right? Or now at the beginning of the year, we can think of like, oh, New Year's resolution, pressure, 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 right? And I, in particular, let me show you. I have this beautiful whiteboard and I do put my goals there. I have like the 12 months, but now I am reframing from doing 12 months. I am going to erase that and I am going to implement my goals and my intentions in 12 weeks increments because I have found it extremely, extremely helpful, right? And I know that I sound like a broken record to some of my members who are probably watching and will watch this. I want to read to all of you who are new in this space the concept of accountability, which is adapted from the book. And that is why I'm holding my planner. And listen to this how beautiful. Accountability, a willingness to own my actions and results, regardless of the consequences. Pardon me, regardless of the circumstances, right? Accountability, a willingness to own my actions and results, regardless of the circumstances, right? Followed by commitment. Commitment, a contract with myself to keep my promises. This builds integrity, self esteem, and success. You see, it is quite internal, it builds character. When I am consistently asked, Karina, you often talk about self worth, you often talk about self esteem as a psychotherapist, as a coach, and a sure way to build self esteem is to honor your commitments. Hands down, when you can honor your commitments, when you can say, I did that, I showed up for myself, You build self-esteem because no one can take that away from you. No one. When you build self-knowledge, when you strive for growth, when you commit to something, nobody, nobody can take that away from you. So I hope that you can internalize that, because when we grow up with dysfunctional family dynamics, we often struggle to identify our own needs, and we struggle with self neglect, even though we may come off very put together, which is something that I talked about during our last weekly accountability meeting, right? We may mask it very well. We may be extremely high functioning, but internally, we may feel deprived. We may feel like an emotional orphan, and we may struggle with self neglect. And we may often torture our nervous system because we put our needs last, and we run on adrenaline seeking behaviors. We put our nervous systems through so much, but by waiting till the last minute to do the things that we are supposed to do for ourselves. Does that resonate? Comment I if it does, right? And let me see. Ah, thank you. I see. I see you commenting. Natalie commented I, and Sally, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you. Sally says everything. It's so true. So true. Thank you for letting me know, Sally. And I am glad that it's resonating with you, because we can just go on and on and on and on, right? And just get so frustrated with ourselves. And all we have to do, I know it sounds so simplistic, but all we have to do sometimes is like pace ourselves. And I want to challenge you now, right? Since I want to be mindful of your time, right? Right. Well, first, let me take a step back, right? Have you ever set a big goal and then you felt too overwhelmed to start, right? Comment yes if that's the case, right? Let me know. Let me know in the comment, right? Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. I see. Janelle just says, yep, yep. Okay. There you go. There you go. So you can resonate. Okay. Me too. Me too. And that is why I want to challenge you tonight to ask yourself, what is the smallest step that you can take this week? The smallest, okay? Please, the smallest baby step that you can take towards that goal that you have set for yourself, okay? Please don't make it big, okay? I would love to know, what is the smallest step? And kudos to you if it feels safe for you to share in the comments, okay? If it feels safe, share in the comment what that is. What is the little baby step or the smallest step that you can take this week towards the goal? And kudos to you, extra points to you, if you are willing to share what the goal is, if it's okay and if it feels safe. Please do not share anything that doesn't feel safe, okay? So let me check in the comments. Okay. Hello, hello. Hi, Janelle. Let's see. Stay about from toxic people, no matter who they are. Oh, that's right, Sally. I hear you. Me too. Oh my goodness, protecting our energy, right, Sally? Oh my gosh. No matter who they are, whether it's family, friends, we have to stay out of away from toxic people. I hear you. Hi. Hi everyone. Hi Rosa. Yep. Janelle says I'm with Sally. I love this community, everyone. Mwah. I love this community. So, okay, don't you dare think that I forgot what I just asked you. So, I would love to hear from you. What is one baby step? Sally says, LOL. So, what is one baby step that you can take this week towards that big goal or that little goal, whatever it is that you can take? What is one step that you can take this week towards that goal? Okay. Like I shared with you last week within our Self Worth Hub, right? I said, look, I struggle with self care, even though it may not look it. Okay. I may come off well groomed, right? I'm looking at the comments. That's why you see me looking away sometimes. I may come off well groomed, but I can drop anything. If somebody needs help, I can drop it. I can drop like whatever I'm doing. And that is something I'm working on because I want to nurture my spirituality more. I want to meditate. And I have a surprise for you. Like, for instance, this arrived today. So I'm going to record for the software talk. I'm going to record some, well, it doesn't sound so pleasant right now, but some meditations, and some, so I always encourage folks to align your goals with your values and also, let's say, your career, right? Align it with your personal because the personal is it's who you are, you know. For instance, because I want to nurture my spirituality, I also want to extend that to my career. I want to share it with all of you, right? So I want to record meditation, but I know that selfishly, in a good way, it's going to help me, right? And in turn, my hope is that it's going to help all of you. So that's part of my goal this week, right? I want to nurture my spirituality, but it's not just this week. It's going to be moving forward, right? So let's see. Same here, Karina. Let's see. Sue, I don't know why. Oh, you're so sweet. Stephanie says you do a great job. You always look wonderful. Oh, you're so sweet, Stephanie. Oh, well, okay. Anyone, don't be shy. What's one baby step? Okay, so like I said, nurturing my spirituality. Also, like I said, I'm showing up more on video. I can show up in a room full of people. I have provided presentations for hundreds of people. I have even spoken in front of 1,000 people, okay, in person. And I have gotten very nervous, but then I'm in my zone. But online, in front of a camera, I have felt so awkward. But I'm getting out of it the more I show up. So that's why I said, these weekly accountability meetings are going to hold me accountable to showing up. So that's also part of my goals. So, hey, that's also part of it. And you're all holding me accountable. So, what is that for you? Tell me. I cannot wait to hear from you. So, again, the question is standing. I would love to hear from you. So, let's see what else. I want to also share with you before we go, right? That we have to be real, right? We are going to experience roadblocks. We are going to experience setbacks. So some of the most common setbacks are guilt about prioritizing yourself, Okay. Perfectionism, right? Paralysis by analysis, fear of judgment, getting distracted, right? Lack of support or accountability. And does that sound familiar? Right? My compassionate challenge to all of you is that if you are a Self Worth Hub member, remember, find an accountability partner if you haven't and post it in the chat, right? Find an accountability partner. That is why we are here. Make friends with whoever is here tonight as well, right? Go to the comments. That's why we're here. That's why we're trying to build. You're not alone in this. So write down this affirmation, right? I am worthy of the time and energy it takes to grow and heal. I am worthy of the time and energy it takes to grow and heal and to show up for myself. Repeat that to yourself and believe it because no one is going to show up to rescue you. No one is going to do it for you but yourself. Remember that. Okay. So when you feel like you have fallen off track, ask yourself, what is the smallest action that I can take towards that goal? The smallest, please, the smallest. What is that for yourself this week? Okay. Baby step. And even if you set a goal of, let's say, exercising 3 times a week, but you could only do one, that's progress. And maybe you said, oh, for 30 minutes. But if you were able to dance to 3 songs and that was like 10 minutes or 15, that's still progress. That is something over nothing. Okay. So let's be compassionate with ourselves. Okay. All right. So now again, I know that if you are a Self Worth Hub member, and let me see because I don't want my computer to die on me. Let me make sure I drop this in the comment if you haven't received this. Okay, let me see. Ooh, let me see. Natalie says, I love to read a chapter a day. They're short on a financial beginner's book while highlighting. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Natalie. The other goal is to start somatic practices when I feel moments of tension. Baby steps is to stop, then breathe, even if it doesn't look like social media. Okay, beautiful. Let's see what Rosa says. I can take this week is to pay my bills and apply to 10 jobs this week, 2 applications a day. All right. Awesome. I love this. Let's see. And then let me see, Sally says, I need that, Karina, to speak to over 1,000 people. I'm not scared. I love that. Yay. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you for your vulnerability. And I want to be mindful of your time. And I know that we have gone over. And I just dropped the worksheet for all of you, Self Worth Hub members. It is already available within our community's chat within the app. Okay. If you missed it, here it is again. Okay. For all of you. But now, whether you are a member or not, is now within the comments. So go ahead. It's a Google Doc, so it is actionable. It can live in your Google Drive and you can reuse it. It's a 12-week plan that you can reuse so that you can break your goals down. You can make it actionable. You can shift your mindset and you can continue to use this. And I hope that you find it helpful. I am also deeply grateful for your trust, for your time tonight. I know that you could be doing something else, but you chose to be here. And I don't take it for granted. I love this community. And let me see. All right. Let's see. Janelle says, thank you. I just started working on the doc. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, man. These people are on fire. Thank you so much for sharing. And then Stephanie says, today I implemented one of my goals, which is to not involve myself in everyone's concerns. Yes. And today I reminded myself that it has nothing to do with me and reminded myself about That is my goal. Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, sometimes we just like, we think that we have to be the problem solvers, and no, we don't, right? So, anyways, want to send you so much love, and I hope to see you again next week. And again, if you haven't, share this with anyone who may need it. Subscribe so that you don't miss any of our lives and any of our healing and growth content. I am so happy that you showed up for yourself today. Okay. If you are looking for a place to be compassionately heard and seen, consider joining our Self Worth Hub. And I cannot wait to see you next week. And please remember your resilience. All right. Until next time. Good night, everyone. Take care. Ciao.